Hey, Kathy here with another tip for you. So today I want to talk to you about one of the number one mistakes some authors will make when it comes to editing their book. When you sit down to write your book, what happens a lot of times is they'll write a paragraph or a few paragraphs, maybe even the whole chapter, and then they go back and they read it, and then they edit it, and then they read it some more, and they edit it, and they're constantly editing it. And this is where the problem comes in with editing. This is that problem I was talking about. And here's why. Let's say you get up and you have all these ideas you want to sit down and write today. And you edit as you write. There's a couple things that can happen. Number one is, let's say you have allotted an hour to write that day, and now you just ran out of time. That hour went by because you were busy editing your book and you didn't get everything written down that you wanted to get written down that day, because now it's time to go on to the next thing. The second thing that could happen is you could get discouraged because you may feel like you're not making a lot of progress. And that's because you spent so much time doing your editing. So editing is not, the place for editing is not while you're writing your book. When you write the first draft of your book, it's typically called a rough draft. And it's called a rough draft for a reason, because your book is going to be very rough around the edges. It's probably not going to be a real great book in your first draft. And that's okay, because it means that you just spent time just writing. You got all those thoughts out of your head onto paper, and you didn't spend all this time editing. When you do that, another thing happens is it also motivates you to keep going, because now you finished your rough draft. You're like, yes, I got it done. Like, that's a milestone to say you finished your rough draft. Now you go on to the self-editing stage, which comes before you hire a professional editor. The self-editing stage I'll talk about in other videos, but that's when you start doing your cleanup of your book, not when you're writing the book. That will cause you to really get slowed down and even potentially discouraged. And I don't want that for you. So if you are doing that, I want to challenge you to stop editing as you're writing and just write. Just let the words flow. Don't worry about the grammar, the spelling, how long a chapter is, how long a sentence is or a paragraph. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter at this stage of the game. All right, so I'm going to challenge you to do that, and hashtag be inspired.